So I wanted to make a video today to tell you about the Craigslist check cashing scam. What that is something that's actually happening to me right now. My wife owns a business, a Penny's cleaning company. Penny's cleaning company, she goes around cleaning houses, and she charges between $80 to $200 depending on the size of the house. She does a really awesome job. So if anyone in King County, Washington or around this area needs their house cleaned, Penny can do it. She's awesome. But I advertised the business on Craigslist, and because it was a cheap way to advertise, and she's gotten some business from it. And we got contacted by someone who said her name was Lisa Newman. She said she and her husband were overseas in Europe and that they were moving here to Washington and they needed a housekeeper. They said they'd pay $500 a week for Penny to clean their house. And I thought it sounded really fishy. Of course, all these overseas things end up being scams. And I didn't believe it for a second. And she said she'd send a check to get supplies. I didn't think we'd actually get a check. I thought we weren't going to get a check. This was all fake. Some people have contacted us just for attention. One guy called and tried to talk dirty to my wife on the phone. Some of the people on Craigslist are really sketchy. But we actually did get a check. She sent a UPS tracking code and mailed us a check for $3,950. And I was shocked we got a check. I didn't think we'd actually get a check. I didn't know about the Craigslist check cashing scam, but I was suspicious of this whole thing from the beginning because overseas and all that. And she said she was moving here on July 15th and that she needed us to get supplies for her before she moved here. She's following a story that you can read on the internet, like word for word almost, of a scam. So she mailed us a check for $3,950, and she said it was for supplies. Now, the check looks real. I'll show you the check. We'll take our address out of it. The check looks real, right? But it's not. And so they want us to go to the bank, deposit the money in our bank account, and then here's the scam. When you go deposit the money in your bank account for $3,000, the bank is not going to know the check's fake for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Once they figure out it's fake, they're going to ask for that money back. They're going to demand you repay them the money. So you're going to have to repay the $39.50 from the check. However, the check cashing scam is that when a person sends you the money, they ask you to turn around and send some of it back to them for whatever reason. When you send that money back to them, if you send half the check or whatever back to them, they get to keep that money, and then you never hear from them again. So they get to keep the money, you never hear from them again, and you're out whatever you sent them, and you have to pay back the whole check to the bank. So what they did is they said, well, we have an art dealer and he sold a piece of art to us and we need to pay him $3,300. So you send us $3,300 back and then keep the other $600 for supplies and for yourself. I'm not going to do that because if I do that, then I'm going to be out $3,300 because they're going to keep it and never talk to us again. So that's the scam. They send you the check, then they ask for some of it to be sent back to them after you deposit it. They keep the money you send back and you never hear from them again. And then you're out the money for the entire check because it turns out to be fake and the bank realizes it's fake. Now, this is a pretty common Craigslist scam. I'm glad that last night I looked it up and found out about it before I went and deposited the check, because I was about to go deposit the check. I was shocked. I thought it was a real check. I thought they were telling the truth. And then luckily I went on Google and looked it up, this scam up, before I went and deposited the check, because I would have been out $3,000. And if I was out $3,000, I'd be broke. So I wouldn't have enough money to pay rent. So I'll show the check again. The check looks real, but it's not. It's not real. And one of the reasons why I know they're lying too is that the UPS tracking says that the money came from Shreveport, Louisiana, which they said they were overseas in Europe. So they didn't even mail the check from Europe. They mailed it from Shreveport, Louisiana. So I'm gonna look up their address, try to find out who they really are, and call the police and get them arrested, because I have their phone number, I have their tracking information from the package, I know where they're located. I don't believe that's their real name, but I can use the phone number to find out their name. And I kind of want to prank them back. I don't want to just tell them I know it's a scam and then never hear from them again. I want to try to protect other people from being scammed by them and get them arrested or prank them back or do something at least funny to get back at them to teach them a lesson, because I don't like when people do this stuff to me and my wife. So this is called the Craigslist check cashing scam. Any suggestions people have for how to get back at them or prank them, I'd love to hear it, so leave a comment. Check us out on Patreon, and I have a Patreon page set up, and support this channel because it's brand new, and I'm trying to do videos about stuff I'm interested in, like aliens, scams, crime, true crimes. I'd love to make videos about what people want to hear and what I'm interested in, and I'd love them to meet my family. So any suggestions you have, just leave a comment, like and subscribe to the page. Check me out on Patreon and give me some ideas of what I should do with this Craigslist check cashing scam, because the name they gave me was Lisa Newman, and I have their phone number. I have the fake check, which is from O'Neill and Associates in Miamisburg, Ohio, which is a legit business. I actually looked it up, but it's a fake check. So hopefully other people will learn from this video and not get scammed. If you advertise on Craigslist and someone sends you a check and wants you to deposit it and then send them money back, don't do it, because it's a scam. And like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I want to hear what people think I should do to get back at these people. And I'm gonna post their phone number and stuff in the comments so that people see who the scam is, and if anyone else is dealing with them, they can know that it's a scam too, because I want to protect people. I want them to know that it's a scam and not get burned like I almost did if I had gone and cashed this check, which I was about to until I learned the truth. So thank you, like and subscribe, check out our Patreon, leave a comment, and I'm interested to know what people think. Alright, have a good day.